So here's a little video just to show you how to construct the mock cable stitch. I've completed a square here for you to see. It's a little bit in the middle, don't worry, it's quite a bouncy yarn, this Drops Merino, but once we've finished the whole pattern and we can just block those squares, you can see how neatly they will come out to make a true square. So I'm just moved that to a side, and let's now look at how to construct the actual stitch. I've already knitted my border, which includes the 23 cast on stitches and then 4 rows of knit each row. And so now I'm ready to start my mock cable pattern, which is on row 5 of the pattern. I've got my right side facing, and I check that by having the little tail coming down on the left hand side of my knitted piece, and I'm now ready to begin row 5. So the pattern tells me to begin with 3 knit, so this is my garter stitch border again, 3 knit, and then I'm going to begin the stitch pattern. So it begins with 2 purl, 3 knit, then it says repeat from asterisk twice more, so I'm going to do that twice more. 2 purl and 3 knit, then again 2 purl and 3 knit, and then looking at the pattern, to finish that row we've got 5 stitches left, which involves 2 purl and 3 knit to the end of the row, and that completes row 5. So I'm now turning it round, and I've got wrong side facing me, and this is now row 6. So again I begin the border garter stitch edge, which is 3 knit, and now this time on this side, on the wrong side, it's the other way round, so this time it's 2 knit, oops, and 3 purl. And then I'm going to repeat that twice more, 2 knit and 3 purl, and then once more 2 knit and 3 purl. So I'm coming to the end of my row again. This time I can knit all of those 5 in one go to the end of row 6. And I'm ready to turn again. Now right side facing, and already I can begin to see there is a little pattern being created in that middle panel. So now row 7, right side facing, garter stitch border, then 2 purl. Now in the pattern it now has the abbreviation WYIB, and that simply means with yarn in back. So at the moment my yarn is sitting at the front because I've just done 2 purl stitches, so I need to take it to the back. So I need to go through the middle of the two needles, through the middle, not over the needle, through the middle, and now my yarn is sitting at the back. Then it says slip 1, so I'm just going to slip 1 knitwise, so as if I'm going to knit it, but I'm just going to slip it from one side to the other. Now I'm going to knit the next 2 stitches, and then with my left needle I'm going to pick up that one I slipped and pass it over the 2 knitted stitches. So I'm going to pass it over like that. So I'm now going to repeat that twice more. Purl 2, then WYIB, so take my yarn to the back, slip the next stitch, knit the next 2 and pass over that slip stitch, and then one more go. Purl 2, yarn to the back, slip the next stitch, knit the next 2 and pass over that stitch. And then I just need to finish off the end of that row, so that's purl 2 and knit to the end. So that's the end of my row 7. Now if I just count the stitches I've got from the beginning, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, you'll see what I've done is actually decrease and take away some stitches. So now on row 8 I need to add those back in again so that I get back to my 23 stitches. So turning around once more, so I've got the wrong side facing, I'm now going to do row 8. So start with my border, 3 knit. Now I'm going to knit 2, purl 1. Now this is the making a new stitch because I need to replace the one I just took away on the previous row. And the way I do this is with yarn round needle. So at the moment my yarn is sitting at the front of my work, and the next stitch is also going to be a purl, so I need to go round the needle, so over the top of the needle, bring it back to the front, and then I'm ready, my yarn is in position to purl the next stitch. And by doing that, you'll see here I've made an extra stitch. That diagonal yarn over is my new stitch. So let's repeat that again. So I'm just going to do my knit 2, then here I am purl, then I need to do my yarn round needle, bring it back to the front of the work, ready to purl the next stitch. And there's my new stitch already made. One more time, knit 2, purl 1, yarn round needle, ready to purl my final stitch, and then I just need to finish off that row with 5 knit, and that takes me to the end of row 5. Sorry, the row 8. Now when I turn it over, the pattern has been completed. At the moment it's a bit tricky to see it until you've completed some more. Let's look at it back on our original one. But you can see when we go to the completed square, as you keep repeating this combination, so it'll be clearer to see. But you can see already on my new one that I've created 3 little columns there, and those will keep growing as I repeat this pattern a further 5 times to get to the top. And then along the top I will repeat my garter stitch border before I cast off.